everyone, welcome to What's the Biz, your place for professionalism, business, entrepreneurship. And I have two awesome young ladies here with me today, Mila and Carmin Ramirez. Ladies, thank you all for joining me today.
Thank you for having us on your platform.
Good. So let's go ahead and jump into it. I want to hear more about you all. So Carmin, start with us. Tell us about you.
Hey, well, I'm Carmin. I'm actually a Shreveport native. I grew up on the base. Me and my twin have a salon together. It's called the Beauty Haven Salon. I'm actually the creator of Metamorph Artistry, so that's my brand. And we're also licensed cosmetologists, where we got our certification at Blue Cliff College. So that's about me, but I'm also a mother, and this is my twin, and we're doing business together, and yeah, I'm excited to be here.
All right, Mila, let's hear from you.
Okay, so I'm Mila. I am the face of the Montrecore experience. I advocate for natural hair and hair wellness, and so basically everything that I advocate for is wellness of women, wellness of our mentality, our mental space, our emotional space, and most importantly, our hair and image. So that's what I do, that's what I represent, and yeah, that's about me.
Well, that's great. You ladies are doing an awesome job here in our area, and we're just excited that you are on our show today. So tell us, the Beauty Haven, what was the origins of that for y'all? That process, yeah.
Can I start off?
Go ahead.
Okay, so I want to start off from childhood. So my mother was an inspiring makeup artist, and so we always, growing up, my mother always allowed us to have a creative outlet, using makeup as an expression, just as a tool. And for me, we always also did business together. So growing up in elementary, we had a lemonade stand.
Okay.
And it literally started off so fun. Every morning we would wake up. We really were known on the base. We grew up at Barksdale, actually. We were known as the twins with the lemonade stand every summer. And it was fun at first, waking up super early. And then it was like, Mama, we got to wake up early. So I felt like that kind of molded us to have discipline, because even when we didn't want to do it, when it was raining, we still had to go out there to the lemonade stand. So I look back on my life and I'm like, okay, those two important factors kind of helped me mold and who I am today.
Right.
And I'm thankful that my mom allowed me to play with makeup, because that same passion that she had is, within me as well.
Wow.
So what would you say was the origin for you?
The origins is kind of the same like what she said, but I think the Beauty Haven for me is kind of more personal. It's just about, for me growing up, like I was telling Carmen earlier today, we're multi-race. So we grew up Portuguese, Puerto Rican, Cape Verdean, and Black. And so for me, I always felt kind of scrutinized by my hair, because people would be like, I thought y'all were mixed, but I got a fro. And so for me, it's just my upcoming events, being a young little girl, looking in the mirror and seeing myself and just learning to accept and love what I saw.
Right.
And so it's very deep and personal, the Beauty Haven. It's just it's a safe space for women.
Right.
And I wanted to create that for women because I created that within myself. So that's what the Beauty Haven is for me.
Wow, well that is awesome. So y'all, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. We're going to learn some more about the Beauty Haven, so stick with us.
My name is Jessica Latin, and I am the owner of JL Counseling. I provide individual counseling, family counseling, and group counseling, and I cover a variety of topics, including grief counseling, anger management, depression, and anxiety. Domestic violence and maternal mental health are two topics that are very near and dear to my heart, and there is a lack of services here in our community. And that is why I chose to specialize in those two areas. There is a huge stigma surrounding mental health these days, and I really want to be a beacon of light in this community to show everyone that your mental health is just as important as your physical health. My favorite part about the counseling process is watching my clients achieve their goals and seeing the smile on their faces and the change in their attitude really helps me to realize this is why I became a counselor.
Y'all, we're back on What's the Biz. We're having an awesome conversation with Mila and Carmin about the Beauty Haven. So tell us, what can a woman experience there?
So coming into the Beauty Haven, first of all, you're going to experience the best of the best. I have all vegan products that are plant-based. They are created for wellness. So anything that you should be eating and intaking in your body is in my products.
Okay.
So I want to make sure that our products are top tier. We're very friendly. We have coffee, tea. We're always about catering to our beauty friends. That's what we call them. It's a friendly, warm environment. And it's still fun, you know, like you go to the beauty salon, you want to have a good time, but we really care about their time,
Right.
You know, so it's always going to be,
experience.
it's always going to be one person at a time. We really want to make sure that we're catering to each beauty friend. And so it's really intimate, just really fun, very light space.
Awesome. Carmen, what's your take on the experience at the Beauty Haven?
So your experience at the Beauty Haven, of course, is going to be like no other experience.
None.
It's more than just makeup and beauty and hair. It's very personal for us. You know, for me, it's more so like, I feel like the Beauty Haven for me is not just about makeup, it's deeper. For me, I want people to feel safe. You know, and also I want them to feel like, hey, you know, this person, I'm very intentional with each client.
Right.
And I'm really trying to, you know, not only meet their needs, but somehow encourage and uplift them, and hopefully be an inspiration coming from someone that, okay, like I never thought I can do this and I'm doing this.
Right.
So I hope that it inspires someone to unlock their confidence and who they are, their image, and just build them up. You know, let them know that you are important, and when you're here, we want to make sure that you feel that.
Wow.
Right.
So ladies, tell me, Mila, we'll start with you. What would you say to a young lady that wants to do what you all are doing and wants to be an inspiration, but she feels kind of, Carmen, like you said, she feels like she may not be able to do it at the point she's at right now. What would you tell that young lady?
I think the most important thing about entrepreneurship, business, is basically your identity. I feel like you have to develop yourself and understand who you are, the value that you add to the world, and I think everything flows from identity. So even brands, businesses, you need to identify what you have to offer and just who you are as a woman and what do you want to bring out.
Right.
So with that being said, for me personally, I like to tell women, develop internally, because everything that comes, you know, everything that's inside of you is going to flow out.
Right.
So it's all about your self-development, professionalism, and everything like that comes after your personal development.
Exactly.
So just focus on who you are, your identity, and also gain discipline. It takes hard work. You can be very talented, but I'm not the most talented person, but I'm consistent.
Right.
And so I feel like it's not about being the best at the talent, it's about being the best person who's going after it.
Yes,
and,
yes.
and making yourself known for being the best.
Exactly.
And the best is always
Right.
about the experience. What you're giving. Are you giving the best? They're coming to you for a reason.
Right, right.
So you have to have that identity and just know to work hard. Operate in excellence.
In excellence, and you said the key word, that's one of the things I preach all the time, is discipline.
Right.
Because anybody can do anything one time.
Right.
I mean, you can be the best at anything one time, but can you keep that going? Can you have the discipline? And of course, you all know in business, that's one of the ways that you can get to the next level is discipline. But actually, once you get to a certain level, then you need more discipline to get to the next level. And you were also talking about, you know, internal, you have to make sure that you're learning for yourself. So continuing education is big to me
That's
as
where
well.
I was gonna go with.
So Carmen, tell us about continuing education.
Well, you guys said it so nicely, but I do also, everything you said I agree with, but just as far as continuing education, always understand that a leader is also a student. You can't ever, you know, be someone that thinks you know everything. The industry is always going to be evolving. It's very important to, you know, continue your education. And also it's very important to me, outside of, you know, what you all said, is to just always, you know, you're always going to be motivated, but like you said, have discipline. And no matter what, believe in yourself, because, you know, a lot of people is not going to see your vision.
Right.
And it's not about what other people think or what other people are projecting on you. It's about what's inside of you that you can, you know, tap into what you can do, believe in yourself, and always, you know, put your best foot forward in whatever, you know, it's not going to always be an easy, fun experience. You know, being in business for yourself is very hard. So that's where the discipline comes in.
Right.
But just always believing in yourself and having hope, to me, is the biggest encouragement for someone.
Wow, that's
in
awesome.
business. That kind of went back to identity. I feel like your identity gives you a cutting edge in a
Right.
world full of trends. When you have purpose and you know your purpose, you're not trendy. You set the trends.
Exactly.
So
Right.
that's important in entrepreneurship.
Wow. Carmen,
I love that.
I'm stealing what you said. A leader is always a student. So y'all remember that a leader is always a student. You always have to learn. All right, y'all, we're going to go to our next talking point right after this break. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly in business. So y'all stay tuned. Do you want to play for a church, play with a band, produce music, or even provide live sound? Listen and Play School of Music is for you. We currently offer piano, drum, organ, voice, music production, and live sound training. With lessons from our seasoned instructors, we can take your music abilities to the next level. Visit our website, listenandplaymusic.com, or call us at 318-232-0756. Listen, play music. All right, y'all, we are back, and we have Mila and Carmen here. They are dropping those gems, dropping the wisdom. So now we're going to even get deeper. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly in business. And I know y'all are the beauty haven, so y'all probably haven't seen too much ugly, but I know in business there's ugly. So Mila, let's start with you. Tell us some of the good stuff about business, but tell us some of the more challenging things.
So the great things about business is being effective in what you love doing, every day waking up doing something that you love. I always knew that I did not want to work for someone else. I would literally ride somebody's clock. I ain't putting in the work back in the day. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just joking. But I knew that everything I did was strategic. Like every job I had led up to me being an entrepreneur, and I always knew that I wanted to own a business. My dream as a little girl was to be a salon owner. So the good thing is operating in purpose, knowing that it can be achieved. But then the hard part is going back to what I talked about, like self-development. You have to understand that you're only as good as you think you are. And so just having confidence, coming from just not being seen, people not knowing what you do, and being able to understand just because people don't know you doesn't mean that you don't have any value to bring.
Exactly.
So you have to just get out of the ego. And you have to be very level-headed. Always approach life like a student. Be ready to learn. So what was the hard part? Opening the business for us was, I didn't know how to open a business. I did not know where to start. But I remember writing notes in my phone, writing letters to myself, and letting things be known to God what I wanted. And every journey, every step along the way was a process that I didn't even know I was doing. I was just intentionally doing things that I wanted to do, that God put on my heart. Didn't know how it was going to happen because COVID was going on. But step by step, everything was coming together. During COVID, I just started looking for buildings, talking to different managers to
help with, us finding a location.
Realtors and stuff, and we weren't getting any phone calls back. And then I just remember one night praying God, I have everything in order. At this point, I'm waiting on you.
Exactly.
The next day, I got a phone call. We went to the Beauty Haven. We walked in. I said, this is it. And I didn't have to look for anything else, and things just fall in order. So I'm a firm believer in writing things down, being intentional, believing it 100% before it even happens, and then being on top of it, because everything is going to work for you, even in the bad. So coming into the Beauty Haven after COVID, everybody's like, you opening a business during COVID? What? That's the most business I ever had as an entrepreneur in general. I was very blessed. That was the most money I made. That was the most connections I made. Everything has been beautiful. The hard part is knowing that we are the first entrepreneurs in our family, so we do not have anyone that any guidance. So we have to seek professional help and just be disciplined in that area.
Yeah, and like you said, I know that you all are believers. You got to write the vision down, make it plain. So I tell everybody when I do business consulting, I'm like, one of the first things you want to do, write down every everything that you can think of for your business. Write down that outlandish goal that may seem impossible. Write it down, because if you're looking at it and seeing it, it can come into fruition. Awesome. So, Carmen, what's your take on the good, bad, and ugly for business?
Okay, so I just want to first say, like Camilla said, I agree with everything, and I think that was really beautiful what you said. That was really nice.
Thank you.
But again, our business was birthed during COVID, and for my journey, it's a little bit different. I feel like the good thing is, again, like, you know, working with my sister, it can be so beautiful and so challenging at the same time. The good is that I get to, you know, be very intentional with my clients and who turn into beauty friends, and every day I'm learning from them, you know, about life, and I'm sharing what I know and just building and encouraging women. Like, that's very important to me. Women empowering other women, you know, so that is the good thing. What else can I say? Being able to, you know, create a space where I feel like my daughter can see me, you know. I'm getting emotional. Stop. Doing all the things that, you know, I desire, and just being really intentional with believing in myself. So let me think of all the good things, because I feel like it's very important to focus on the good things, you know, in your life. So another good thing that I feel like is during COVID, to be honest, like right before, you know, everything happened, I didn't even know that we were going to have a salon. Like, you know what I'm saying? And one thing that you all said that was really important is writing stuff down. There was a time where I would be very like argumentative, like I don't have to write stuff down to get it, whatever. And I was cleaning up, and I went through my stuff from cosmetology school, and I wrote down a lot of things that I didn't even think that I would be doing. Henna brows being one of them. That's one of the services I offer now. And at that time, I was just doodling down. Like, I didn't even have any like real, you know, that I wasn't intentionally putting that down.
Exactly.
And then I'm looking back on it, and I'm doing henna brows now, and I was just like, dang. I feel like that was God telling me, you see the importance, like you need to be more wise and take counsel when people tell you stuff. And so, of course, I have developed from that. So the bad thing is, to me, is, you know,
challenging part,
or the challenging, because I don't think it's really bad, because, you know, what's more challenging, of course, is when, you know, something that Camilla kind of like tapped into is, you know, knowing who you are, knowing what you have to offer, and, you know, constantly believing in yourself, because even though there are days where you feel like, oh my God, I did such a good job, but you're not seeing the clients that you want to see, you know, or that you're not getting the feedback. And then you have to understand that that validation that you're seeking, it comes from God and from within yourself, and that everything is not built overnight. Rome was not built overnight. You have to really put the work in, and you have to really be very highly self-motivated, because there are going to be days where you just want to be like, I give up. You know, nobody's seeing my vision and blah, blah, blah. But that's when you have to go back in within yourself and say, hey, you have purpose. And you always have to create those core reasons of why you're doing it. Why are you doing it? It has to be bigger than you. You know, God has put a purpose in every single one of us. And I feel like when I see my clients, beauty friends come in, you know, of course I'm not going to be crazy like, what's your purpose, blah, blah. But I'm going to try to help encourage you and uplift you and plant a seed in you. And I feel like people have done that for me. They have planted seeds within me of encouragement, of life, of love, you know, and that's what we're supposed to do. So, you know, that's one of the bad things. Just knowing, well, one of the challenging things is just staying disciplined and knowing that you have a purpose. And, you know, I'm telling you, every time I get discouraged, and I think it's me, I'm like, I'm putting all these statuses up, I'm putting all these, you know, advertisements, and I'm thinking I do all this, and then as soon as I say, let me get myself out the way, God always opens the opportunity for me when I trust Him. So I feel like, you know, that's very important to me, and I hope that it helps someone and encourages them on their journey.
Yeah, and I tell everybody that I've been in business a long time. I'm in my 30s, but I've been in business since I was a teenager. So it's been a while, and on some of those tougher days, I'll go back to something that I wrote down back in 2011, a goal or a piece of equipment that, you know, that we wanted to purchase. And then I look back at that and I'm like, well, we got everything on that list. And that sometimes takes me to that next point of motivation to say, hey, look, let's keep pushing. So that's very important, like you said, during the challenging times, always have something to look back on to help you remember where you were. Ladies, this is some
Can I say one more thing?
Go ahead, say one more thing.
This really came to me. as an entrepreneur, especially an upcoming one, I just want you guys to not take anything personal. I think that if you spend too much time like really taking things personal, even the compliments, the negative talk, it distracts you.
Yes.
Don't get so big-headed. Like when people start to notice you, don't do it, because one day people are gonna love you and the next day they won't support you.
Right.
So you have to be very focused. That's why we talked about identity and purpose. You have to have that vision, and nothing can distract you. Not the compliments, not the negativity. Just be consistent. Just put it out there and do what you're supposed to do and stick to it.
Exactly.
Simple.
Right. Awesome advice, y'all. We're having some really good dialogue. We have one more segment. We'll see you all in a few. Stay tuned with us.
In our 35-year history, this is the most important thing that we have done from an awareness perspective, from a fundraising perspective, from a volunteer perspective. When people understand your mission and why you exist and what you hope to change as a result of your nonprofit, they better know how to connect with that mission. I think one of the things when you talked about women, and I really want to talk about that. In a 2-month period of time from November 1st through December 31st, we were able to gain over 100 new donors, which equated to about $100,000 in additional revenue in a 60-day period of time. And so it's not that one-time gift, it's that name, it's the connection, it's the relationship.
Welcome back to What's the Biz. I have two beautiful young ladies here with me, the Beauty Haven, and they have so many great things going on. So now let's talk about future. Carmen, let's start with you. What does the future look like?
So the future for me looks very bright, but first and foremost, I always want people to know that I am a spiritual person. So I feel like whatever you desire, make your request known to God and then make room for it. You know what I'm saying? You have to start working for whatever you want, and you have to be able and, know that it's coming, so the future looks like for me, of course, I do want to, like we spoke earlier, continue education.
Yes.
I don't want to say all of what I plan on doing, but I also want to get into services that are still beauty, but on the medical side. Also, I do want to start offering more services that you all will be able to find on our, booking site this year. Microblading, ombre brows being one of them, which is permanent tattooing, makeup. And the future also looks like me getting more involved in the community, outreach, helping anyone that, I can help. And what else can I say the future looks like? You guys would just have to tune in to find out.
Well, we're going to tune in. Okay, Mila, what about you?
So the future looks very exciting for me. I'm actually working on some products. Everyone that comes to me is always like, Camilla, what are you using for this? What do you use for that? And all my consultations, I'm always talking about what you need to eat, what you need to be doing, and now I'm coming out with my own personalized line that's going to cater to my beauty friends. Also, I'm going back and forth between Dallas and Houston traveling, so it's going to be more traveling for me. I just want the Beauty Haven to grow and expand, and so we're looking to hire some people on our team and just be able to navigate different cities and give what we have to offer to different people.
Wow. Well, ladies, I mean, we know that you all are going to make it happen. Y'all are doing awesome things here in our community, so we're just excited to see the future of the Beauty Haven and all the different things that are going to come off of that. So any other words as we're in our last segment? Or any other advice? Well, let me ask you all this. What would you tell yourself 2 years ago now? What would you say to that person?
You want to go first, or am I going first?
So what I would tell to myself 2 years ago and as a child, or, just my youthful person, is never regret your past. Never, look back and be like, oh, I wish I could have done this, or I wish I could have been this, or I wish I would have taken this more serious, because everything that you have endured, everything that you have overcome is, for a greater purpose, and it's a reason why you were being molded and pushed and pressured. So don't ever, look back on the past in a negative aspect. Just know that's, helping you become and humbling you to become who you are destined to be. So.
2 years ago, I would have told myself, let it go. Just let it go. Be very quick to just let it go. We just harvest too much, and I feel like that gets in the way of what we're supposed to be doing. We need to really let go of a lot of things and just accept who you are. Just accept who you are, the things you've been through, and it's okay. It's okay to have certain things happen in your life that aren't just the greatest.
Right.
Those things do not define you. So let it go. Accept who you are, because when you accept who you are, you attract people who accept who you are, and then you're able to push forward and connect with your tribe. So even when it comes to business, accept the greatness you have. Don't look at her, what she's doing. Look at what God put in you, and say, this is what I bring to the room. This is what I have to offer, and this is who I am. And those people who recognize it can see you, and you'll see them, and it'll be great. Don't fight to be in any room that's not for you. So that's what I would have told myself.
Say that one more time.
Don't fight to be in any room that you don't belong in. Period.
Period. So I think that we've gotten preached to, taught, inspired, motivated by these two awesome women here. So thank you again for tuning in. Ladies, thank y'all so much for being a part of
Thank you for the platform.
We're so excited, and we love everything you're doing. We appreciate you bringing us on and just giving us an opportunity to tell people who we are, what we have to offer. You're amazing.
Well, thank you.
I agree.
Y'all coming back real soon. So y'all, I'm excited. We only have a certain amount of time, but we're going to make sure to bring them back. So remember, tune in to What's the Biz, your place for professionalism, entrepreneurs, and business.